So I thought I'd get a stream in right quick, talk that shit. Damn, I shouldn't have said that cuss word so quick, because I know a certain time streams you gotta be cool with the cussing, but nevertheless, it'll get it'll get monetized. But yeah, so the State Warriors, yes, people's worst nightmare. The Golden State Warriors are going to the NBA Finals, and the hate is gonna begin. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen such hatred for a team where they got a bunch of cool dudes, but you got people that just don't like the Golden State Warriors style of basketball. They just don't like that style of basketball, you know. And Charles Barkley constantly always hating on the Golden State Warriors. It's funny now he didn't change his tune since Luca went John Starks and basically shot them out of that game. And Luca's a good basketball player, but his time will come later on. You know, I think if the Warriors wouldn't have been bothered by what happened a couple of days ago in Texas, which by the way, that's tragedy. That's a tragedy. Real hard pill to swallow. You know, that's just horrible. You know, and once again, my heart goes out to the families, you know, and of those children, because like I say, they were children. But yeah, you know, I can tell you when the Golden State Warriors first started making they run, a lot of people, you have some people that say they a traditionalist and they just don't like that style of basketball. Well, people just gonna have to accept the fact that the Warriors style of basketball is here to play. I mean, here to play, here to stay. And that's just real talk. But I thought this would go 6 games, but for the most part, the Warriors kind of like dominated Dallas for the most part. I mean, they beat them in 5. You know, could have swept Dallas if they wanted to, if they had really, you know. But I think they were bothered by what had happened, you know, and Steve Kerr was disturbed. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm hearing excuses why the Warriors won and all this kind of stuff. But Dallas, they just didn't have enough for the Warriors. And as I said before, Luca needs a legitimate number 2. Doesn't have one. And Luca decided in that game that he wanted to try to be Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. And that was his downfall. He's not quite there yet. And the Warriors played Dallas how I said they should play Dallas and how they could win this series. Do not really worry about Luca. Make his points meaningless to where he don't impact the game. And Luca averaged like almost 40 points in this series. But they were meaningless 40 points because they got took out in 5 games. That's what you do. You take the best scorer and you let him do what he want to do, but you neutralize the key players, the key components. And that's what the Warriors did, and it worked for them. And I think they might have to do the same thing in the next series, whether it's against Boston or whether it's against Miami. This is a veteran team. This is a veteran team. No, I already know. I'm from here. I know everything. I'm a Golden State Warriors historian. I think it's kind of funny that Kevin Durant is at home and Stephen Curry is headed back to the finals, which a lot of people now then turned on Kevin Durant. But a lot of people which like I said, I never had a problem with Kevin Durant coming to the Golden, but it was never his team. But answered about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant needed to come here to win. Not Stephen Curry going somewhere. Stephen Curry had already won. Look, listen. If the referees wouldn't have interfered in that finals and suspended Draymond Green, the Warriors would have destroyed Cleveland. But by them, like, suspended Draymond Green, they just stole the Warriors' momentum, and it just went downhill. And people can sit up there and say, well, you know, they had a few more chances. Sometimes all it just takes is one moment. Like I keep trying to tell you. 1988 World Series. When Kirk Gibson hit that home run off Dennis Eckersley, one of the greatest pitchers. And to be honest with you, I'm going to tell you about those Oakland A's team. And that was it. That was all she wrote for that series. The A's just couldn't come back. They just couldn't come back. Same thing with the other World Series with the Mets and the Boston Red Sox with Bill Buckner. Bill Buckner had no business being out there. Then the same thing with that, and let's talk about another World Series. That versus the the Los Angeles Angels. Dusty Baker screwed up that World Series. So like I said, it's all about momentum. All it takes is one thing and it could just kill the momentum, and that's what happened. That's a team that won 73 games. And they was on the verge of destiny, and the league shouldn't have catered to LeBron James. And that kind of turned a lot of people against LeBron James, because LeBron James shouldn't have been able to call a shot and call for somebody to be suspended and then the league suspend him. So that kind of like turned a lot of people against LeBron James, which it was a bad look. And the NBA shouldn't have catered to LeBron James. And that's, you know, because they messed up a historic season for the Golden State Warriors because they was too busy trying to help LeBron win a championship. You know? Yeah, but that's the year the earthquake happened, so people wasn't really able to celebrate that World Series. That World Series was meaningless basically, because I'm talking about the whole Bay Area was in shambles from that earthquake. So you couldn't really remember the World Series was delayed, I think, for about 2 or 3 weeks. So we really couldn't even enjoy that World Series. You know, I lived right down the street from where the freeway collapsed. I was living in West Oakland, so that World Series damn near don't count. But yeah, this Golden State Warriors team, like I said, I don't like how sometimes they play lazy defense. They get stagnant on defense. Like sometimes they just give up easy buckets, you know, in the paint. Like they have like a, you know, deer at a headlight moment where they just get stagnant and they just pause, and it's just like, hey man, y'all in the game. That's the only thing that could cause them problems. But the Warriors, they usually they get it. They get it. But like I said, all the questions has been now about Stephen Curry, whose team it was. Because like I say, Kevin Durant can't seem to get there. Can't seem to get back to the finals without, you know, playing alongside, you know, Stephen Curry. Keep in mind, Stephen Curry already had a ring before Kevin Durant got there. Now, I'm not going to go back and forth about the whole finals MVP thing. I'll stand by what I said. I thought that Kevin Durant did not deserve that MVP that he won when the Warriors swept the Cleveland Cavaliers. I stand by that. But I'm just laughing at the fact how inside the NBA all of a sudden they trying to switch up. Oh, you know, now they knew the Warriors was gonna win. Nah, I seen what they was doing. They was talking big boy stuff. They was talking like Dallas had what it takes. The Warriors would have beat anybody. It didn't matter who. The Warriors' toughest The Warriors' toughest series was against Memphis. You know, I knew the Warriors was gonna beat Dallas. I just thought that they would beat them in like 6 games, but they beat them in 5. We all know the NBA don't like series to end in 4 games. So, you know, but yeah, I always knew that the Warriors was gonna beat Dallas. But yeah, Luca, he went John Starks. Kind of like what happened with John Starks in that finals game many moons ago, you know, versus the Houston Rockets, the New York Knicks, where John Starks went like 3 for 19. Literally shot them out of that game 7. And Luke like 10 for 28. I mean, he made a couple of circus shots, but it was neither here or there. They didn't affect the game. Because, I mean, the Warriors sort of like had that game under control by pretty much, well, the second half. They had it under control. They ended up winning by 10. Dallas made a little bit of a run. They went on a 14-0 run, which Steve Kerr, he got to work on that, man. He got to work on that. Man. He didn't been there way too many times to allow a team to, you know, go on a run like that, where the Warriors give up 14 unanswered points. 14 unanswered points. When they made a, you know what I'm saying? When they went on an 8-0 run, they should, you know, Steve Kerr should have called a timeout and started making adjustments. But, you know, the Warriors had the game, you know, they had the game still under control. You know, I think the closest they got was within 8 or 9. But I just got a funny feeling that the Warriors playing the Boston Celtics in the finals. Who do I think the league want the Warriors to? I mean, either way the league wins because it's Miami or Boston. You know, both teams have been there before. If I was a gambling man, I think they'd rather have the Warriors versus the Celtics. I mean, this is going to make for great ratings regardless, because you're going to have like the up and coming Boston Celtics team. They wanted the Celtics, to be honest, they wanted the Celtics there last year. And the Celtics, they have a chance to close out this series because the championship starts next Thursday. So, you know, like I said before, if I was a gambling man, I'd say that they won't. If I was a gambling man, I'd say they won't. They want the Celtics. But anyway, be back with more later on. Thank you for listening. I am out.